I would just say to the person that's listening, if you're experiencing correction from your pastor, just realize it's actually a really beautiful moment for you.
Yeah.
And it is a gift. And it will probably be one of the moments that shapes you more than it'll take you a while to realize how actually good that moment is for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you just got to stay the course. And you got to stay free of offense, and you got to lead your heart well through that. Because if you can, you're going to come out really, really strong on the other side.
This is the Leading Second podcast, where we are on a mission to equip local churches everywhere to raise uncommon leaders. The Leading Second podcast releases every Thursday morning, so hit follow and share this episode with your team. Now, let's jump into another episode for all of us who lead from the middle, from the second chair for the second chair. Welcome to the Leading Second podcast. My name is Brian. I'm one of the team members here at Leading Second, and I'm glad that you've joined us, and I'm excited to share with you this great episode. To get the most out of it, I'd encourage you to download our episode guide for today's conversation. This resource is available for you to help maximize the content in this episode. So use it with your team to jumpstart conversation, or use it for your own personal growth. You can find it on our website at leadingsecond.com/podcast. Before we jump into the episode, we are excited to announce Leading Second Camp 2023. This is your invitation to our flagship annual gathering for the Leading Second tribe. This year finds Leading Second Camp in two incredible cities. We've got Salt Lake City, Utah, and Calgary, Alberta. Consider this your personal summit with God to be renewed, realigned, and equipped for your vital role in church life. At camp, you'll experience a curated conference-style event in an intimate setting surrounded by your peers in ministry. We hope to see you there.
It's time to fan into flame the gift of God that is in you. In 2023, the journey continues. The Leading Second tribe gathers again. One dynamic event, two cities, two nations, all for Jesus. Calling all church builders, executive pastors, campus pastors, lead team members for inspiration, for impartation, that we may be found faithful. You're invited to be in the room for Leading Second Camp 2023, February 22nd and 23rd, Salt Lake City, Utah. March 8th, Calgary, Alberta, featuring Brandon and Lindsay Stewart and Larry Bry. Registration is open now. Spots are limited. For more information and to register, visit leadingsecondcamp.com.
We look forward to seeing you in Salt Lake City and Calgary. For today's interview, we are honored to welcome some of our favorite second chair leaders to the podcast. Last week, we got to hear from their lead pastors, and this week, we get to hear the other side of the conversation. Brandon sits down with them to talk about what they think from the second chair. Let's jump into the conversation.
Well, I am here today with some of my favorites. Don't tell the others. Some of my favorite leading second chair leaders from churches that are in our world. And I'm so excited to have a conversation with you guys. Thanks for doing this today.
We are too.
Excited to
thanks
have
for
you.
having us.
First up, we have Girly Gordon from the Movement Church
Hey.
in Orange County.
Come on.
Tough life.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Do you guys still have the garoffice or whatever that was?
You know what? We have all moved out of that neighborhood.
Oh, it's so sad. You used to have a garage,
Yeah.
like someone's personal garage that they
Yep.
had turned into the
Yeah, before
church office.
before they were
amazing.
even on staff, we turned their garage into an office.
I love that.
It was
That's
amazing,
great.
and we
That's
like
great.
decked it out. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. And then it's Orange County, so you got the garage door up like
Oh, man.
90%
Oh,
of
it
the
was
year,
awesome.
and
Ocean
it's just
breeze.
phenomenal. And I
Have
have
to
good
work
memories.
under those conditions, man.
Yeah, you have tough life. We'll fast and pray for you.
Yeah.
Jeff Hanson from
Yes.
One Place Church,
North Idaho.
North Idaho.
beautiful place.
I've learned that people from North Idaho distinguish North Idaho.
It's
Like
not-
like apparently something about southern Idaho you don't want
It's
to
a
be
totally
known
different
for.
vibe. I mean, you think of potato farms and all that. I've
Okay.
never seen a potato farm, never
All right,
seen
all
any
right.
of that. It's all Pacific Northwest, trees, mountains, lakes.
You've never
Okay.
had
Gotcha.
to drive through it?
You don't get
So we don't
that
want to
in the
associate him with
South.
South Idaho, anybody.
No.
No, that'd be horrible. That'd be
No,
horrible.
no. No,
And
different farms.
we have Dave and Sarah Nelson
Yeah.
from The Well,
Yeah,
Yes.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
that's right.
Host venue for Leading Second Camp
Yeah,
2023.
very excited about that.
Plug,
Yeah.
register your teams
Yeah.
today, leadingsecondcamp.com. Great to have you guys. And here's the fun part. I talked to all of your pastors about you. With microphones in their face,
Nice.
so everything's on the record. No, but we had a fun conversation, kind of talking about like what they think about, what lead pastors think about from their seat. So I thought it could be kind of fun to respond a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, and have some fun from this seat. The going premise of these episodes is the better that our relationship is, first chair, second chair, the healthier our churches are going to be, the more aligned our teams are going to be. But we've got to work on that relationship. Now, let me offer a caveat here. When I say to someone your relationship with your pastor, you might think I don't direct report to my pastor. You might say, I never see my pastor. We don't have lunch often enough, all that stuff, whatever. I'm not referring to that stuff. I am talking about the relationship in your heart.
Yeah.
Towards your pastor,
good.
because we believe that leading second is a calling, and it is not a calling to one box on the org chart. In other words, way more people in your church lead second than just the executive pastor or something like that. And so you can be a first year intern, with like 7 reports between you and your pastor, and you can still have the spirit of leading second. And you have a relationship in your heart with your pastor. I promise you, your pastor knows what you're doing. I promise you, your pastor is more aware than you probably realize. And so let's not get hung up on that. Let's realize that I have stewarded a relationship with my pastor since I was in high school, in terms of how I relate to them.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense to everybody today. So we're going to kind of have some fun talking about that. First of all, let me ask each of you, and I'd love each of you to weigh in on this. Why do you lead from the second chair? Like, why do you do this?
I knew from when I was so young that all I wanted to do was change the world. And I also, the moment I came in contact with Pastor Carrie and Megan, it's part of why our story is that we moved from Texas before we ever launched our church to be a part of their team, because I knew the best way for me to change the world was to do whatever I could to make their vision come to life. So for me, I just, anything, whatever it is, I worked kids check-in for the first 2 years of our church. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to change the world through building their vision,
It's great.
I'm all in.
You should tell the story of how you ended up at.
What's funny is we were about to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, and we were in our blue sky meeting trying to figure out what are we going to do for 10 years. And it was my Facebook memory of 12 years ago on this
You gotta
day.
tell the story.
I had tagged Pastor Megan on Facebook. I did not know Pastor Megan. And I was 1:00 in the morning, and I had tagged, young and I don't know, wistful. I was up late dreaming God dreams of moving across the country to help Pastor Carrie and Megan Robinson
Wow.
plant their church.
And you don't know them.
I don't know
That's
them.
amazing. I love it.
So while that was very creeper status, we knew them from some, they were the speakers at the conferences we took our youth kids to, because we were youth pastors. Not
So
at that
amazing.
moment, I didn't, but they fully called me out because they were like, who is this? Is this a youth pastor that has just now announced to their church that they want to, so
Right.
they were like, they literally contacted us through that post just to make sure, because they were like, no, this is not how we do culture. And I was like, no, we stepped out, we had stepped out. God was preparing us for a new season. We just don't know what's ahead. And then out of that Facebook post, we quit our jobs, sold our homes, and moved away from all of our family.
Wow.
And it was just, it was God.
But that's the
amazing.
essence of a calling.
Yeah.
And an assignment. And
Yeah.
remind us, what do you do at your church?
I am now our executive pastor over weekend services.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. You guys have a great church.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have a thought? Why do you lead second?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking back about my I grew up in church. I'm a church kid, and I remember in high school, I would legitimately ditch school to go to the church and help my youth pastor set up chairs, set up for youth night, and he literally physically had to like, no, you have to go to school now. Like I cannot, I don't feel right about you staying here. I just wanted to be in the church. I wanted to build the church. I wanted to help. I wanted to do whatever I could. Wanted to be a youth pastor. Wanted to do all that stuff. And so I think it's just carried on. Was a youth pastor for a long time, about 15 years, and then jumped into planting a church. And so what a whirlwind change that was. But that spirit of just wanting to help build something from nothing, it was just already in me from a young age.
So good.
And it was just, if we need to, throw a party in the park, if we need to move chairs, if we need to clean picnic tables so we can have people at a park, like whatever it was, fill ice chests, whatever.
Yep.
And it's just continued. And now we have a building, and it's just that spirit still is in there of like, whatever we got to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always thought a brilliant book title for a church plant would be called Straightening Chairs.
Yeah.
Like or folding chairs or something,
Yeah.
because that's, I think
It's a
you're in
great
the
title.
ministry of like chair ministry.
Yeah.
When you're at a church
Yeah,
plant.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Jeff, remind us, what do you do at your church?
I oversee all of the production media at one place.
Awesome. And you're a day oneer
Oh, yeah.
at your
Very
church.
day one. Started helping our pastor with just Instagram posts and, updating website, and then started throwing events and took on all the creative and production and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Help with those Instagram posts, and
Yeah.
you're sunk.
Here we are.
You're in. You're in.
Never in.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Dave, Sarah?
Yeah. Well, and I'll let you speak to it too. But more than anything, our heart has always been to just be obedient to the call of God on our lives.
Right.
And say, God, whatever you have, whatever you want us to do, we want to be sensitive to your leading and call on our lives in that. And so whatever you present in front of us to do, help us to be obedient to step into that calling, so that we bring glory to you ultimately, and that so that we can build your church at the same time.
Beautiful.
And so really that is the foundational element to what God presented in front of us, and we said yes to. I said, like, this is where God's leading us and taking us in this moment. And so, Lord, help us to do it with all of our might to bring you glory and to honor what you've established.
Yeah.
And what's your role at the church?
Well, our roles have been shifting, technically campus pastors. So we've had some change and some amazing things happening.
I've heard.
Yeah. So we've carried multiple hats on staff, and but we're getting ready to launch a Park City campus.
Amazing.
And so we are going to be the Park City campus pastors. So,
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that's a very tough assignment.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you have to have a church down the street from skiing, like world-class skiing. It's just got to be a tough life.
We literally just moved into a log cabin last week. Like
Yeah.
full
That's
on.
amazing.
Yeah,
log
moved up
cabin.
there. You know, the problem is I don't even ski or snowboard. So
You better. I feel like that's your mission field. If you're going to be Park City campus pastor, you have to.
Yes.
I got to
One-
understand the
one-
context. Yes.
Or at least a snowshoe or something.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome, Sarah.
I would add that Pastor Jason and Erica, they're so special. They there's something special about the way that they lead. And before the well came to Utah, we were in such a dry and desperate moment in Utah, and we weren't sure why God had us in Utah. And then we learned about the well. We stepped into the well, and it changed our lives. And we just wanted, it's a privilege to be a part of what they've been building. And we're just so thankful that they said yes to Utah. It's not the easiest place, but they said yes, and lives are being changed because of their yes. And so we're following suit with God. You have our yes. And whether we're scared or we're being brave, God's so powerful to use our yes. And so
You guys are going to be brilliant in that role. I'm so excited for you.
thank you.
Okay, so when I talked to your pastors, I asked them this question: what do you wish your team knew about your role and about your seat? They had some really, really good thoughts. I know you haven't heard them yet, but they had some really, really good thoughts. So here's my question for each of you. Do you think it's easy for us to underestimate or misunderstand the seat that our pastors are in? Because a lot of what they do is unseen by us. They carry away. Of course, none of us have been lead pastors. So, but I know enough and have talked to enough of them where I can sense the weight. And they all say this. They all say, I didn't know the weight. In fact, the reason I chose your pastors specifically is they all have proven season in the second chair, which I thought was brilliant. They've all transitioned so well, second to first, and they all kind of agreed, like, you just don't know it until you do it. So let's just dive into this. Like, where do you think those misunderstandings come from? Is it easy to misunderstand the weight that our pastors carry?
Yeah, I think that anytime you're not walking in someone's shoes, it's easy to have a perspective of what's just in front of you rather than maybe what you don't see. I think what's beautiful is what you just said, that all of our pastors have been in the second chair, and so they know where we're at, but we haven't been in their seat, and so we don't know where they're at.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I just know I'd mentioned we've worn multiple hats through the years, so every time we moved into a new spot or position within the church, it came with a new weight and a new, like, oh, that's why those people did that. And so I know for sure that there is, like, I don't know what they're carrying. I don't. And, but I know it's something heavy, and I know what they're carrying is different than what we know.
Which I think is the point I'm advocating for, exactly what you just said, that as second chair leaders, we won't know. Like period, we won't.
Yeah.
And if you're called to the second chair, you have to actually settle it, that I will spend the rest of my ministry life not fully understanding that weight, because it's a spiritual weight. This isn't just a positional weight or a job description weight. It is a spiritual. They will give an account for how they shepherd. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna stand before Christ and answer for it. So there's just something about it. So what I'm advocating for is we have to actually make that our starting thought.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Like in the moments where we're on different pages, that's like the first stop for a second chair leader is, okay, I may not fully understand this, so here's now how do you guys agree with that?
I think the weight of influence inside the kingdom of God reverberates across eternity. So and as I've led more and had more in my hands and more in my hands at every level, it's so impossible to take that for granted. And so I cannot even imagine holding it all up.
Yeah.
And one thing we hear younger leaders, at least I hear all the time, ask is, I just need more trust. I just need more trust. And I'm like, you don't understand the sacrifice and the weight of what you're asking for.
Yeah.
And I want to trust you. It's not that nobody wants to withhold, but when you carry it, the decisions you're making are going to affect people's lives, that will affect family trees, that will reverberate across eternity.
And I think, I think a healthy lead pastor won't come into meetings and won't come into their staff and just bleed on them and just share all that weight with everyone. A good wise pastor will hold some, but what I've learned is to pick up on some cues.
Totally.
And in those car rides and in those times where I get that opportunity to be with him one-on-one, I'm picking up on those cues of some weight that he's maybe trying to is coming off of him a little bit. And I'm locking those away of, okay, cool. I know now more a little bit what he's going through right now. And I can be if I'm not sensitive to that, I'm just this wild second chair leader that's just doing my own thing. But being sensitive to those moments with your pastor.
Good.
For us to stay on the same page with them, would you all agree we have to chase them?
Yeah.
We have to actively work to understand them, to understand their preferences. I just did this week, mind you. I have been in our church since I was 1 year old, so like 40 years in one church. And my pastor has been my pastor since I was 12, and I've been in full-time ministry 21 years. And I'm just saying that to say this. I still just last week had a conversation where I had to get on Zoom with my pastor and be like, I'm finding myself making decisions about something. I don't know your heart. I'm just going to ask you some questions. I just need to understand your heart.
Yeah.
Just bleed on me. Just talk for a minute. And I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I asked him enough questions where, okay, I got his frame of reference. I got his points of inspiration. And it's just a lifelong journey but back in the day, it looked like someone just said, you know, it looked like driving them to the airport. It looked like being in their world. It looked like pursuing them. And I think that's just a lost art right now.
Yeah.
Of being around them. It seems like it's not productive. It seems like it's it's not checking a box on a job description or something, but you're catching something when you're around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you guys? And I think that's actually a part of our job
Yeah.
It is.
to pursue them
Yeah.
and to catch what's on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's another question for you. Have you ever found yourselves out of sync with your pastors? And we can be honest with you know the world listening. And if you have, how'd you correct it?
That's good.
I found myself in moments, and this might resonate with a lot of people, but I found myself in moments, and being very, very transparent here, having or being a part of meetings after the meeting. And it's a tough place, and it's a not healthy place, but I found myself kind of being in these moments, whether it be other people that just, you know, the meeting after the meeting. And it was an unhealthy place for me.
Wow.
I shouldn't have given that space to that conversation. And, you know, it was a growing moment for me and my pastor. It was a big growing moment to go through that hard time of just the confrontation of it, the conversation that we needed to have, and we're going to move past.
What was the point of correction? Did your pastor come to you
Yeah.
over it?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It didn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was 100% correct. And I found myself,
That's good.
wow, yeah. There's things I could have done to not allow these things. And there's things that I should have, as a leader, led my other second chair people in.
But you know what your transparency just did? And I know podcasts are so casual sometimes. You know, people are driving down the road in cars right now, or you know, they're like on the bench press at the gym or something, you know, and it's like you know, Jeff's bearing his soul and you're like on your third set on the bench press or something, you know, but I actually really believe in this medium. I just had somebody just the other day tell me they've gone through every episode with their staff recently, you know, but Jeff, what you just did is you just set someone free and you just gave them
Totally.
permission to be honest about that space because it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've all been in our own version of a meeting after the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just opened up someone's eyes to, oh my gosh, I have done that and not even realized.
Yeah.
that
Sure.
was
Because you
not-
don't think there's conversations that I was in that was like, I didn't think it was until it was brought to the light. And it's like, this is not good. You're out of step. You're not supportive in the ways that I should have been. And we've grown as a staff because of it, you know?
That's great.
Yeah, it really is. I think taking that look, kind of doing some inventory. It's like, all right, Lord, show me where my heart's at.
Yeah.
You know, to where that is a leadership thing that helps the leader. And because, I mean, in the moments where maybe we're somewhat misaligned or maybe we had a different vision on something, but getting back to the place, I think first and foremost for myself is going, all right, show me where my heart's at, God. Is my heart wrong in this? And if so, like, I repent of that. Help me get back on track and forgive me for that.
Yeah.
And then realigning with not only just bringing glory to God in that space, but then alignment into the leadership and following their their lead and under my, they're our covering, they're our lead. So we follow them in that and in the trust that's been built through that.
I would just say to the person that's listening, if you're experiencing correction from your pastor, just realize it's actually a really beautiful moment for you.
Yeah.
And it is a gift. And it will probably be one of the moments that shapes you more than it'll take you a while to realize how actually good that moment is for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you just got to stay the course. And you got to stay free of offense, and you got to lead your heart well through that. Because if you can, you're going to come out really, really strong on the other side. So let me create a pivot here for a second. There are some lead pastors I know that listen to the podcast. I know this is Leading Second, but I think they're interested. I think they're curious what leaders are talking about. So it's a small part of our audience, but let's talk to them for a minute. I'd actually love to hear from you guys on this question. What do you wish your pastor knew about leading from the middle? Because I asked them the reverse question recently. So what do you wish your pastor understood about leading from the middle?
I would say the nights that you're up and you feel alone, God woke me up to pray for you. And you're not standing alone. And what burdens you carry, we feel close. And we don't understand them fully, but we see them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's still a weight.
Yeah.
It may be different, but there's still a weight.
Yeah.
Well said.
That's so beautiful. I wholeheartedly agree. I think there's times that our pastors have walked through things that we didn't even know they're going through something challenging. And there's other times where we don't know what, but we can feel it. And we see it. But I would say we love you more for it. Like your times that you felt weak, it's not a weakness to us. It's more of a reason to cover you. And I would add in a slightly different direction, we feel the weight, but we are here for a reason, and we're still here in the last few years because we still believe in the call of God on your life, and we're going to do everything we can to see the vision come to life no matter what.
So good.
And it's challenging to lead like you and be us, but we've chosen to be here and do that. And so don't give up on the vision. Keep giving it to us.
Yeah.
I think I'll speak from the position of being bivocational or having to have another job outside of leading second. That might be a lot of people, probably is a lot of people.
Right.
And there's moments where I wanted to just pour. It was like that. Is that high school kid in me that wanted to just go down to the church and help all day, but I had to go to school. I have to go to a job. I have to do this other thing. And I would say, man, in those moments when I just want to still give you my whole everything. I just don't have the margin right now. But you still have my heart.
That's good.
Even though the moment's like, I want to just I give my life to this.
That's good.
Know that in this season, I'm still with you, but I'm an Enneagram 3, so I'm like scared to death that I'm failing and you're not proud of me, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you, I'm like, I want to be there with you. I just, in this season, I can't. There's probably a lot of second chair leaders like, I'm still with you. It might look like different right now.
So good.
Like I can help you these 3 nights a week, but I'm still with you.
You know what I'm learning about that space, Jeff, is I'm learning that that's a real space.
Yeah.
And it always feels like tension. Like it just never doesn't feel like tension. But one thing I'm learning that's helping is when we can give language to it. It's slightly different, but I hit a season in 2021 that I've almost never hit. We were pregnant at 40. Thank you, COVID, for that one. And a 7-month travel shutdown. Amen. And we find ourselves, pregnant unexpectedly. God recalibrated our lives. Okay, it's beautiful, awesome. People sending baby shower gifts, all that. But then our baby came 3 months early, and it hit hard. And it was 4 months out from Team Church Conference, which I at the time helped carry really heavily. And I did what I never do, and I called him one day and waved the white flag. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out. I'm talking like I need to disconnect.
Yeah.
You know, I never do this. You know, this is not like you know, I had 2 meetings this week, so I need a Sabbath, you know, type of thing. This was like we had to focus on home for a minute. Something had happened. Or, you know, however we arrive at that situation. I just, first of all, found him to be so fair about it, which I hope some leader out there somewhere just realizes you can be honest about that space with your pastor. They really do want to meet you in that place. You don't have to be scared of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I hated doing it. You know, I hated calling. I hated being that person. I just found fairness from my pastor. I found understanding.
Yeah.
I found support, and it actually led to some really beautiful long-term recalibrations. So it was actually a really great process. But like any one of us could find ourselves there, and we just have to be okay to be honest and bring that, you know, so that we stay healthy, and so that our relationship with our pastors stay healthy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for me on that, I just want them to know too, like, we don't expect perfection. Because I know that, like, as leaders, right, we're all leaders in some capacity. We understand that, like, we are not perfect leaders. And so we understand, like, we don't expect perfection.
That's great.
And so I think, like, just to know that.
One more question for lead pastors. What is something your pastor does that blesses you? Like, what is something that your pastor does that either encourages you or keeps you going or provides clarity for you or support for you?
I think to that last point, when our pastor says he believes in our family and our family first, he really means it. That's not just something that we write on a nice postcard or something like that. Like he truly believes that our family is first. And he gives us space to create those moments with our families. We organize and design our church events and things that we're doing to reflect that we want your family to be first as a staff. So that's been a huge blessing for us, you know.
Yeah, it's good. I think I'm just going to speak in general terms. Their leadership. We are under, as you talked about already, we feel like pastors Jason and Erica are phenomenal leaders. And we have learned so much under their leadership. It spurred us on to grow in our leadership, not only just in the ministry, but in family and in other areas too. So just being under their leadership has been a blessing.
That's beautiful.
I would say the honesty. We've watched our pastors walk through some really, really hard moments in the last 3 years, lots of blindside moments, and their integrity and their honesty and their vulnerability has just been so beautiful to watch.
Absolutely.
Here's my last question for you guys, and we'll wrap it with this. When you experience a tension with your pastor, I didn't say if, I said when. Just when that moment comes, big or small, where do you go in your head and in your heart? Like, what do you tell yourself?
I have to get with God. I have to get with God and say, God, give me a lens to see them the way that you see them, and help me to see their heart and their motive. He's their creator, so he knows them better than they know themselves. So when I get with God and he brings my perspective in alignment with where they're at, it softens everything.
Beautiful.
That's great.
My hope is to encourage them. I know what it's like to be encouraged in my leadership realms, spheres of influence, what have you. But I just know that, especially them being the senior pastors, like, they take the shots.
Yeah.
We're pastors on staff, but they take the shots.
Right.
And so I just want to reiterate the fact, like, we are behind you.
Yeah, that's great.
And be encouraged. And hopefully that this space that we have with us here is a refreshing space.
That's great, Dave.
I run my life off of systems and litmus test, because I tell people all the time I have the emotional depth of a teaspoon. So the way that I figure out like how I feel about things is I ask myself a lot of questions. I have little things. So like I know how I'm doing with my relationship with my senior pastor is when the phone rings and I see his name pop up. And what feeling I have about what this phone call could be about or where my mind goes, and that 5 seconds is how I know where I'm at with them.
That's good.
So and because it could be a myriad of things. It could be fear of, have I failed him? It could be a pride of like, what do I do now? You know, it could be so many things. And if it's not neutral or positive, then positive is better, but we've all been through 2020. We know we can't always do positive, right? But neutral is okay. Like, what's going on? Like, okay. I mean, what we want, obviously, our hearts to be is like, what is he about to share with me right now?
What a great
So
litmus
good.
test. And you just don't want principal's office vibes.
Right.
Right? Like if that's happening.
Yeah, then I know my insecurity is, which is something that's what I deal with. We all have our silver bullet. That's what our pastors talk about all the time. Like, what can take you out? And insecurity is it for me. So I know my insecurity is running wild if I'm immediately thinking oh my God, what is this about? What's he going to tell me? You know, so that's the narrative that I have to go and work on, because we've gone through this enough that it doesn't matter what place he's in or if he communicates everything perfectly or Pastor Megan. What matters is where my heart is at, and if it doesn't matter if they communicate things perfectly. If my heart is in a good place, we're going to be good.
So good.
It's good.
Yeah. I would say I know my pastor loves Jesus. I know Jesus loves him. I know I love Jesus, and I love my pastor. And so as those things all work, and I have to tell myself, those things are very solid. And so when we have conflict, I know that he loves me so much, and he loves the Lord, and he knows he needs to, we need to work in those, that all four of those little pieces are working together healthy. It's good. And he once said, just so you know, if I text you like those texts, I want you to assume and know that I'm smiling when I'm doing that.
That's great.
If I'm not, I'll either call you or you're going to know right away that this isn't.
Yeah.
But just don't go there first.
Yeah.
So good.
Or even
and I'm
when
like,
they
okay.
are.
Yeah.
Like, I've had that phone call of, I need you to come to the office 10 minutes early because we have a conversation we need to have. And you're like driving to the office going, oh my gosh, but also like, you got to be able to like spin that narrative to yourself. That's like, whatever they have to tell me is for my betterment and for our church's betterment. So I can't wait to hear what this is.
So good, guys. A lot of wisdom at this table and a lot of experience walking these roads. I appreciate each of you. I value your relationship as friends, but also in leading second, and am so thankful for how you're faithfully holding up the arms of your pastor. So thanks so much, guys, for a great conversation today.
you.
Loved it.
To find the episode guide, visit our website, leadingsecond.com/podcast. And you can also follow us on Instagram @leadingsecond and join us on the Leading Second Collective on Facebook.